everybody, and welcome to Bnow Coffee with Jeannie and Cindy. Hi, Jeannie.
I love our coffee chats. Thank you, Cindy. This is so fun.
It really is. It really is. We do coffee chats because Jeannie and I have these explosive conversations, and we thought we'd just share them with you. Up until now, we've been doing women's retreats, and that's been our main focus. But now we're moving more into gathering people together and like-minded people together, having some Zoom chats and participating more. We've even started a publishing company. So
yeah, which we talked about for years.
We talked about it.
Now it's kicked off.
Yeah, because we want to hear about your stories.
Yes.
Especially of overcoming challenges. That's what we're about. Even at our retreats, we say, this isn't a therapy session. We're not here to fix anybody.
It's not church.
Right. So don't suck the life out of anybody. Please.
We mean that in spiritual sense.
Don't start sticking all of your crap on somebody, and because that's not what this is. This is how you overcame challenges, keeping it positive, and no judgment. That's what we do at our retreats. And now we're extending into our podcast and our coffee chats and our Zoom chats. And we will be putting together a book of your stories.
Yes. Of
how you've overcome challenges. And we're just going to start Bnow 1, Bnow 2, that type of thing. So you have a story of conquest. We want to know it.
Yeah.
So today we're going to be talking about choices.
So the way this came about is I have a little meme that I didn't make. I use it on things, but it says, make a list of things you like to do. Then make a list of things that you do every day. Compare the two lists and adjust accordingly. So, believe it or not, Cindy, many times people get bogged down in the first part of that. Make a list of things you like to do. They have forgotten things that they like to do, It's like, oh, well, I mean, they don't know. And, I think I've told you before, many years ago, up on Cape Cod, Massachusetts, we were on a vacation, and I saw a little window hanger. I wish I'd gotten it. It said, an immaculate house is a sign of a wasted life. And I was like, well, ding, 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 because we can just get all caught up in, oh, I got to do this and I got to do that. I got to do this. But we don't take time to recognize what it is that we say we want. But and that's kind of the macrocosm, but on the microcosm, bring it down, drilling it down to us, it is, we are oftentimes not aware, Cindy, that when we say that we want something, that, we're putting that out in the future. We did talk about Dr. Benjamin Hardy in his book called Be Your Future Self Now. Mm-hmm. And what you want to be. And one of the questions is, ask your future self to connect with you, saying, what is it that I really would benefit from if I did more of, or if I did less of? If I did less worrying, would that be helpful? Well, probably. If I did, if I passed up that third glass of wine, would that be helpful? Maybe. What are the things that you would like for me to do more of? How about getting out in nature? How about being of service to others? How about cooking that special meal? Or whatever it is, like you said, you practice for hours a day on your piano. And I am always, researching and doing stuff like that. We do what we do. But so this comes down to choices. What are the choices that you are making? And so many times people and I don't want to go too far off here, but, if somebody comes to sort of a fork in the road, this way or that way, and it is a decision to make, Many people are like, well, I don't know how to make that decision. No, but your higher self does.
Mhm.
So what I tell people to is like assign like a certain outcome to this side of the path, a certain outcome to this side of the path, and then get quiet and just, get soften your internal vision and imagine that, and which path is what path, so each has a value. And then just in your mind, see which one sparkles with light. And it will, in your mind, it will sparkle with light. And it's like, follow the yellow brick road. If we will follow that, if we will, make a choice, understanding too, Cindy, that we can always make another choice. So I know that you've had times in your life when it's like, should we do this? And you just did it recently. You and your husband sold your house in Texas. You moved to Florida because you want to be with your kids and with your grandkids. But equally as important, we've talked about expanding Bnow.
Mhm.
And this is the next perfect step. So
Surf's up.
yeah, that's why I keep saying from giddy up to surf's up. To surf's up. But you've made these choices, Cindy, and everything has to show up differently. And just tell us how your life has changed in small and big ways since you've moved a couple of months ago.
Well, I think the biggest thing is I don't have access to friends. So I'm actively looking at places I can get involved. So everything, it's kind of like a whole clean slate.
Yeah.
So I'm here with the children, but there's so much opportunity here for what I do. When I lived in Nashville, I had plenty of opportunity. I was speaking all the time. I was selling my books, selling the music and things. And then I moved to San Angelo in the middle of nowhere, and that lasted about a year. My opportunity dried up there. So here it's starting all over again. And what's so awesome is that San Angelo was a place where I did so much creativity because I did
a lasting impression on that town. You really have.
Well, I love the people there. I love Texas. It's the heart of Texas. And even though I didn't grow up there, I'm actually a California girl, which they always tease me about that. But I had all my creativity was there. So I have all of this. It's kind of like if you think of the books and the music and musicals and everything I've written, it's kind of like preparing a big dinner, and now it's time to invite everybody because there everybody's already, exposed, and now it's time to share it with more and more people. And the beautiful thing about Florida, where I live, is that there are such an eclectic group here. They're from the East Coast, they're from Michigan, not people from the West Coast necessarily, but so I'm actually being exposed to a new culture because the East Coast is different than Texas, which is different than California, which is different than the Midwest, et cetera, et cetera. And so I'm enjoying the exploration of new opportunities here. And so that's how, so it's like being reborn again.
Yeah. And you're making different choices. You're doing things differently. It's like when we started meeting with our builder, to renovate our winery, and it's just now in the beginning stages, but it's exciting. But I started thinking, what do I want to do when we move into the winery? And the winery was built on love and, of course, on, beauty and music and grapes and wine and food. And, we danced around, laughter. And so I have this huge, at the winery, which we have now rebranded Casa 210 because it's 210 North 6th Street. So it's our house, Casa 210. And covered louvered front porch that is 650 square feet that I put all my furniture out on, or I will again. and plants and little tables and, little rugs and stuff like that. And I thought, what do I want to do when I get there? Because you have to think about that. And back to the choices. And I thought, I want my friends to come over. I want to entertain people. I want to have laughter. Well, it was like the light went on. And a couple of months ago, I was like, ding, ding, ding. Well, I have a pool. I have a backyard. I have a covered back patio here. So I just send out invitations and set up a ladies' pool and backyard patio party. And we had fun. And I thought, you don't have to wait until everything is in place, but you do have to know what you want and begin making those choices. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. The choices are some, in reflection, there are things I would do different now.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have made another choice. It might have taken me down another path. I've loved the life that I've had so far.
Yes.
And that's one thing too. Don't beat yourself up if you made the wrong choice for something, because there's always new opportunities. There's always, if you did something you're not proud of, which I know I have, I'm sure,
All of us have.
Exactly. If you've done something that you're not proud of, forgive yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And just say, I wasn't the same person back there. I didn't know then what I know now, which is the beauty of maturing. I'm not going to say the O word, but the more experience that we have in life.
Getting older does not necessarily mean you're wiser, because there are a lot of wise young people too. So
absolutely,
they don't equate. They really don't.
On that note, my little 4-year-old granddaughter yesterday, and no one showed her how to do this. She sat down, Jeannie, on the floor in a lotus position. Susan Cox will love this. And she did, Nana, you want to know how to pray? She said, you can go like this, or you can go like this, or you can go like this, or you can do this, or you can do this. I looked at her.
Hey, how about that?
So going back to what you say, even in a 4-year-old, there's this beautiful wisdom that I encourage in her. I said, what else do you know? Because where did she didn't learn that from any source around her.
It's not like you're doing yoga every day. No.
No. And I don't know a cartoon that I mean, it surprised me, but she was when she did it, she was so deliberate in her reverence, because she would do this like this. And so you're right. The young people that are coming in today, it's important for all of us who are awake that we encourage that wisdom. Don't blow anything off as fluke. These children that are coming in right now, and the teenagers that are here now, they know better. They know better. And I think that's why there's so much energy going to the youth, because those that don't want us to progress, those of us that want to control us, they are they're trying to dumb that down with this gender confusion, with, just different things, and programming these children. I talked to Charlie Ward not too long ago, and he was telling me that children at 4 years old, they will test at genius level. Mm-hmm. But by the time they're out of school, if you test them after college or after high school, only 3% will test at genius level, if that tells you anything. So the way that they teach in schools is designed for them to be controlled, to not
conformity. It's conformity. And, truly, it's like making choices when your child comes to you, or your teenager or whatever, if you act all offended and you're all, judgmental and stuff, believe me, they're not going to share with you. And we have to look at ourselves with compassion too.
Yeah.
So my invitation today, as we wrap this up, is to say, what are you doing on a daily basis? Do you even know what brings you joy? And if you don't, and here's one of the things that I used to tell people in the artist way, it was like, what's your passion? They go, passion, oh my God. And I said, well, let's start it easy. What did you used to love to do when you were a child, when time just passed seamlessly? And they were like, oh, well, that was easy. And like one woman said, I used to pretend like I was a horse. And I would go over little hurdles and fences and stuff. Well, so it was like, okay, she loves moving her body. She loves that freedom of her mane so what is it that you used to do that you're not doing now? And can you expand on that? And how can you make better choices and become your future self now? So
exactly. That's right. I used to love to lay in the grass and watch the clouds.
Yeah.
And what's so interesting is in San Angelo, there's clouds, but not like here. Oh my gosh. The clouds in Florida are just amazing. Big towers of big white fluff. Just amazing. And I would lay on the grass and try to look at animals, with my brother, and we'd point out animals.
Have you ever vaporized clouds before?
Oh, no.
Okay. So what you do is you get comfortable and look up in the sky and, all these clouds, and you pick out like one area of a cloud or one cloud or whatever. And all you do is you just send your thoughts to that with love, but just see it dispersing and coming apart and disappearing. And Cindy, it works.
Oh, yeah. It's wonderful.
It is.
I didn't know that I was in charge of that. I'd watch it do that because that's what happened.
Well, I mean, it will do that. But if you just deliberately pick one out, I mean, that's how. So anyhow, I just want to leave everyone with the thought today: make good choices that your
make good choices.
Yeah, that your future self will be proud of you for.
And make the choice that will benefit you the most.
That's true.
It's time to stop making choices to make everybody else happy.
Yeah.
We're done.
That never works. It never works.
Make sure that you're happy in the process.
Right.
Okay. Love you.
Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.